W's draft.
Yeah, I am a really big fan of easy execution in a lot of spots here too. It's just really easy for W to play like a succinct style. The pressure here.
No one has really questioned Pays and his ability. As I gotta say, Monkey was spotted doing his first 3 camp spot, but was not spotted mid.
There we go. That's the aggressiveness of Team W right there. Karis lands the root. Monkey flies in. First blood.
Playing with full info, but a potential dive could come in. Vampire still 2. He should hit 3 those soon. He's probably 1 man way away.
Right, here we go. We're going to try and get those concussive blows stacked up, but the turn aggro's being juggled. Missing will be traded out there for Taeyun's life. But Pays is able to knows those timers and has the troops coming to assist him just like that. And the one positive side for the flip for WE is that Sion is probably the best 1v2 weak side champion, especially we saw in Split 1 when you can
area
swap
traditionally where Shen's been playable, where we see him, but now Ala.
Yeah, Monkey trying to set up for another pick play here. They can't get the knockup though. Ala gets the flash out, but it doesn't matter. Monkey with the tunneler has more than enough.
Where's Ala?
You already have TPs come across. Cube is in. There's a Chains of Corruption down. They're going to try and burn through the Sion with 4 members, and Cube is just picked off and sectioned down. Monkey trying to avoid that Braum passive. Will try and trade back in, but gets stunned up by Shun, who pops Crescent Guard, so Karis can't get any damage back out and cannot save Monkey. Seismic Shelf not going to land from Scout, but they might have their pick nonetheless as Karis gets far too low. The concussive blow Q nearly finds its mark. Vampire trying to desperately peel for Karis as Shun dives under the turret, knowing that Stand United is there to bail them out as this game progresses.
Yeah, again, this is the mid game where JDG should be stronger. WE for sure set behind after that last set of plays. They're going to focus on this top side as Monkey going to find Missing, but doesn't know that Missing is alone.
Still safe.
That felt like a split call from WE. As
now Vampire, he's jumping in. 2 versus 3 right now. They have the Weaver's Wall. There's the Pantheon ultimate. Monkey joins the fight, but it's Taeyun actually flashing after and killing off Pays, and that just sets off the whole chain reaction. WE playing with that confidence again, but Monkey's taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Stand United. Jun with Ala is going to try and join the fight. Ala, though, gets canceled out. Doesn't matter. Vampire falls next. Jun able to keep Karis and Taeyun off the front line. The Crescent Guard blocks all of that damage. True Shot Barrage doesn't find it.
Done on the Pays. Just what happens after this? I guess I know Taeyun's a little bit low, but WE they get split from Taeyun. They overextend. They don't kind of retreat back to him.
Oh my God! Cube has a genius Sion ultimate. Pays didn't even get to move again. The JDG 80 carry drops at the start of the fight. The huge damage amp for this composition. But they still want to try and fight out with their range. In goes Shun, knocking back Karis, but in flies Vampire, trying to set up Shun, get value out of that Crescent Guard, but Scout is ramping up on this damage as well on the backside of this fight. Karis and Taeyun are trying to hold the line, and with the zombified Cube, they're going to try and knock down Missing. Find another big kill, but Shun goes in on Taeyun with Ala right up in front, and he lands a 2-man taunt, and Scout flies in off his own Weaver's Wall to seal the fate of WE.
WE just don't have the damage right now. And that fight could not have gotten off to a better start because Cube had a huge connect on the Pays, who of course was sumless. But WE playing out the rest of that one. They aren't playing patiently enough against this JDG comp, and the strength of the draft that JDG has right now is paying off. This feels like Karis is tickling people at the moment.
Just a little bit too late to some of these plays.
Cube, again, you cannot ask for a better start to this fight.
Of course,
Cube's going to take a lot of damage.
What's going on live here?
Back to live.
Oh my gosh.
United. Goodbye, Monkey.
Monkey and Vampire just picked off. There's the threat of those global ultimates showing through, but Karis on the backside is going to shut down Scout.
Able to play this one out, so I mean, I don't know exactly how that one developed. That was interesting. That replay again, I feel like WE, like after Cube took all that damage, just weren't quite able to get out. As okay, we're looking bot.
Vampire jumped in 1v2 to get Pays. Yep.
Well, yeah, 2v3. Tankier was nice too, but turn to live. This mid turret's going down. JDG going to continue to add a little bit more gold to their lead, and again, still feel like their comp's pretty strong, but some of the concerns that we painted early on with protecting this Varus, I've for sure seen the light of day in the earlier stages of this one.
We're going after Ala again. Good way to take away the Shen. The Stand United, send him to the gray screen. This time, Monkey and Cube able to get that one done.
Yeah, Ala not even going to burn the flash, and that was the right choice as he went down there. Up way too far, and again, take mistakes for JDG. Like, this is still a point of the game where this game's close and within reach for WE.
Oh Here we go. Scout with the reaction play on the other side
TP
of the map
coming
towards
in.
Karis. Great dodge on the seismic shove. Karis is going to be able to buy enough space until Shoot flashes right in, gets the knock up the Seraph shield, the dodge on the Braum Q, and the Glacial Fissure. Karis just knocked off so many valuable ultimates. Cube on the flank. Vampire flashes, gets the stun down onto Scout. This Seraph shield should not save Scout. The Grand Starlight, everybody from Team WE pulled up to the party, knocking down Scout. And what's their grand prize, Cubby? Otacon.
I don't get this play from JDG. I mean, part of me doesn't get it. I feel like if they're more in sync, they might have been able to pull this one off. We do have to pause because Shoot is here. It could smite steal. They've dragged this one down a bit.
Pays now just joins. The smite down to 8 HP, but they get it done. So JDG do not threaten the Otacon, and they're going for more here. Who's the comp that plays the map better? Because right now it seems like it's Team WE as they Realm Warp Vampire right on top of Ala. Jun, you do not want to jump into that dumpster fire. Another pick found.
Pays has sums up. It feels like Pays needs summoner spells up in these fights to function. Because he needs help, right? I mean, this Varus can't do it alone. It's really tough to play Varus this game. You need a lot of help from your team to be able to make this one work.
They're going for more here once again. Team WE on the hunt. The Weaver's Wall does block off a lot of the damage dealers. Cube gets thrown under turret by a good seismic shove. So Scout is chunking down this very tanky Scion. WE have to play on the back foot. Meanwhile, all this time, Ala's getting turrets on the top side. When is he going to join that Stand United? He does as the big stun lands down from Cube. Ala flies in, though, only gets Vampire. And this time, Pays gets the free hit and generate more and more damage. But Taeyun, flashing over the wall, finds one kill, gets away from Shoot. No, he won't escape him. But Monkey's able to trade him out. It's chaos all across this bottom side river. But it's JDG narrowly coming out on top 3-2.
Holy cow, these fights are explosive. Pays did burn his flash there, but was able to do a lot of work. He's flashless, though.
Oh, he tries to dive after Pays, but Ala was there to cover him. This time, Pays should not fall. Great sidestep on the Q. Pays this time survives, and now Karis has to pay the toll for his jungler.
Oh, the hands from Pays, they were fantastic in that fight. Isolated the Scion, but Pays was the one who was electric in the back half of this. Keep your eyes onto him. Work it on the Cube. Karis gets slowed down. Again, the chase from JDG is decent here. And, okay.
Oh, no, Scout again.
Going. Scout caught.
Again, it's the same reoccurring problems for Scout.
Yeah. That sucks, because I would have loved to see that replay. Instead, we just have to watch Scout die for nothing. I get to miss out on Pays' banger play again, and Pays is probably a Scion like, God, I have no flash this time, and I need another banger play if I'm to stop this Baron, which is now being started by WE.
Why not? WE knows so many summoners are off the board here. They also want to force Ala up. So he immediately teleports in. This is still a 5v4 for Team WE, who want to really break the bank and open up this game one. But Baron is really taking its sweet time going down. It was all a fake for WE to find the engage. Going after Pays once again. Vampire gets on top of him. Cube's there as well. There are no summoners on this forest, and the true shot barrage sends him back to base. Team WE spring the trap at Baron, and they're looking to cash all the chips in right now. Shun and Ala on the back foot, but they've got themselves Scout returning with the Weaver's Wall. And once again, we go back to dancing with Baron, but this time WE 5-on-3.
Love the execute on the Pays. Again, Pays no sums. It's so difficult to fight as this on-hit Varus with no sums. WE's making it look hard as they had a good execute there. They're getting a little bit low.
How do they do this? How do they get to Taeyun or Karis without any of their main damage dealers? Scout has no range to play at, and it's this point at the tip of Monkey's spear that sends another member of JDG down.
Really poor game from Scout. I would usually say it's uncharacteristic, but we have seen Scout have a couple of stinkers here. This is definitely one of them.
Look at Monkey's health bar. Monkey needs to be careful. He needs to be close enough to smite. Ala tries to get the top, but it doesn't land. Monkey's smite range true. Sure, he falls, but Team WE will finally exit top river with 4.
You're up a full level on Pays, who's about to ding 15. This is soul point now for WE, which, I mean, given Baron and the pressure they have is assumed. But, again, JDG was so important for them with this mid-game, like, to do something. And we've really highlighted the globals from Ala and Scout needing to make plays to get ahead of WE. What did we see this game? Ala and Scout really struggling to play inside lanes, and the round warps and Monkey being too big as Taeyun stuck.
No, but Taeyun! That's both summoners down! They teleport in Karis as well. He's immediately going to use the Realm Warp to save Monkey. Ooh. Team WE with a critical mistake, and Ala's looking to punish it even further. Flashing on top of Karis, who now has to burn another one of his summoners. But the flashes keep on coming. The hits are rolling right now, and Karis and Taeyun are going to fall an absolute collapse moment for World Elite.
All right, Scout, good comeback. That was a beautiful setup and a great play as Baron was up for WE. Now Baron's down, and JDG, they're likely going to take an inhibitor here. Taeyun has 20 seconds on him. Karis won't be up for a bit. I don't think they can end, but for sure inhibitor falls, and yeah, they're going to take that, and that's it. But
well, here's the future problem, though, Cubby. Yeah, it is. Here's the. Oh my God, Karis is doing a scout impression in the side lanes. What's going on to these carries?
Again, we know that WE's been hot. They've been playing a good game so far. We definitely have not seen this be a perfect game from either of our teams, but
nope.
Man, WE don't grasp defeat. See if it pays off.
Also Pays is also the first person to get to 4 items here with the Jack Show completed. Grabs Spencer taking his Vampire's going to go in. Has the Grand Starfall coming across. They're going after Pays. Does cleanse, does flashback. Cube follows after him. This time Pays is not protected. He is under threat and he falls. Karis and Taeyun bring the damage, and just like that, this topsy-turvy game swings back into WEZ's favor. It's only a matter of time before JDG start to crumble under the crushing might of Taeyun and Karis.
That was a really good setup from WE, making up for some of their own sins we've seen in this game. But again, like, Pays has sums up. Look at how difficult that fight is for Pays to play out. You got Scion in your face, you have Ryze behind you, you have a Grand Skyfall right on top of you too. And all those tools, there's not enough tools to peel for Pays. And I will see if there's enough tools to actually get Shun out of this pit. Monkey's
Scout is getting eviscerated off to the side here by Taeyun, and there's the Root Prism land. Jun is going to fall. He doesn't even get a chance to try and steal away that.
Leona combo or a Pantheon 2 over the top, and that's it. So I think WE, odds that they end on this push, very high. Again, I think playing 2 lanes, pretty nice. Missing you. The last time WE
responds in about 10 seconds, so the fight over the mid wave will start it out here unless Cube sees an angle on to Pays. The Realm Warp to the back end. Gotta watch Pays. Will he be protected? Vampire says no. Will the Stadium United bail him out? Alla comes flying in. Pays is desperately trying to kite himself back out to safety, but no! He will fall! And Taeyun ramping up on the front side may seal this game's fate, but Scout has a ton of damage of his own. It's only Taeyun and Cube left up. Did Pays buy JDG enough time? It certainly damn looks like it. Taeyun has to have his MVP moment of this game to save this fight because Cube's health bar is desperately crumbling. Taeyun trying to pump as much damage as he possibly can. This full build Ezreal. The wall comes up. They're getting it low. Shun, who lost that big 50-50 Kanavi on Elder, this time is not going to have to 50-50 it at all. He's waiting to see if he can get up on all 5 members, and he does.
Baron's push for the end with Elder up. Of course, it's a lot of strength, but could be kind of dangerous here. Because once Elder expires, I mean, if you're too far up on the map, we could...
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hell of a roller coaster that we have here.
It's the first game of the day, Cubby.
I mean, I feel like I've talked a lot.
Soon as JDG.
I mean, 30 seconds. They can get 2 inhibitors. I don't think they can push Nexus turrets, though, as Karis misses.
Karis gets away from the seismic shove. Not going to get low enough for the Elder to pop him there. Waves are coming up.
20 seconds.
Take down both those inhibitors.
I mean, I'm telling you, once Elder expires, they're like, WE's going. I think this is it for JDG.
Boy.
We're really flipping
They're on a timer. They're going in now. Still 10 seconds on the Elder. That's a huge side of from Scout to buy space. They went too early, and now Pays is going to make all of WE pay. The Elders are just popping Team WE across the board as they immediately lose their 2 tankiest members. Elder is gone, but it might have been a fleeting hope. JDG, it's been topsy-turvy all game long, but they're going to try to cool off the hot streak of Team WE and win themselves a 45-minute banger game 1.
I don't get why WE went then. Your Nexus turrets, you don't need to fight under both. It would have been better to wait. And yeah, curious to see what happens when Silas joins the Subjugate and casts that on an Ornn, because that can be disgusting.
I do find it intriguing that we give Pays the biding his time. Maybe wants to let the red buff do some of the work, and then he's going to collapse.
Let the ego down.
Shun, yeah, going to get the speed up. Trundle, one of the best 1v1 champions. His Monkey's looking to show why. Karis going to swing over first. Wow. This is done and dusted. Shun falls to the might of Monkey. First blood, WE.
All right, Monkey using some of that early trading power. I know that Kelsey Moser, of course, we're blessed to have her help with this project.
Right, if you can get those upgrades early to Karis's kit, Monkeys, and then later on Taeyun, you're in a good spot. WE's bottom lane might be in a pretty precarious one, the way they go for that engage on the Missing. Remember, flashes are down for Missing. The bullet time is up. Vampire is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the only way out is back to base. Great bullets right there. Grubs are up. Shun is here. The swap has come through for both sides. And the hook's going to land for Vampire. They're going in onto Missing. The Ornhorn's redirected by Cube towards Pays and Shun. They do eat the knockup. Scout's coming across, going to steal his own Ornhorn. Hijacking the play here for WE. In goes Shun, dashing forward, using the target to survive. Gets himself out and gets out to safety. Deadly Flourish going to land, though, onto Pays. Shun, I don't think you can body block for your AD carry here. It's Scout coming over. Line of defense. Curtain call to slow down and just give this Dragon. I mean, it's first one at 13 minutes as well.
Yeah, the Dragon stacking is not really going to be a factor this game, which is a little bit unique. Again, haven't seen... I don't think that it's really WE's Dragon to take. As again, early on, the strength
last
of the...
game, just trying to lean into one of his big solo lanes and try to knock down this first turret. But Scout going to hijack himself. A Shuriman shuffle. There's the response, though, from Karis. Pays is nearby, but Scout does not have the... That melee-dominated comp is going to be afraid of this Azira. Maybe they should just fear Vampires. Missing gets a ton of his HP taken away. Shun is close by. Monkey going to have the subjugate up as the bullet time does come across. Monkey uses subjugate to get some health back, but it's not going to be enough as Shun gets himself another reset. Jumping on top of Vampire. He's going to make it a 2-for-1 for the pack.
Can be nice for Azira. Renekton just kind of has to catch and farm, but he shouldn't be going down getting solo bullet up there. So well played from Karis. Right? Yeah, leads to a Dragon secure. I think Dominus was down from forcing Q.
He was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We do our job on that, champ. That said, Alma, that was a bit shame. Different version this season. There's only
Thornbound.
This patch. There's only one, but this, regardless of the version, this seems to be getting melted. This might just be taken.
Yeah, Garrus secures it.
Close.
And there's no flowers to pick up, so...
Yeah, still a feel good. We have seen with the cheaper boots, right, just 500 gold, more people just buying it and just being like...
Trying to buy space, but they have to find a way to reconnect. Scout has the Ornhorn, maybe trying to set up a big combo.
Vampire
get Shun and Missing in. All off to the side. Bullet time with the crash down. Magnet Storm melts away Vampire's health bar. Karis off to the side, trying to get the Sand Soldiers up to push a lot of damage out himself. WE on the back foot, playing 5 versus 4. How much do they want to over-aggress here? Monkey runs out of subjugate timer for now. Shun hiding back very carefully. Starting to shoehorn WE in, trying to bait them further into a fight that can end this game.
Scout can grab another ult. His hijack is up. I think this is a very scary fight for WE. I would give this one. I think that...
Trapped.
Yeah. Look at Scout. He's not spotted.
Look at Missing. They just completely flank out. Scout gonna flash himself back out to safety. Taeyun follows after, but there's the Emperor's Divine. A huge play from Karis. Monkey trying to brawl way out. Karis with another beautiful flash. Leaves Pays in the dust. Just when we thought W were gonna get trapped, circled, and shut down. It's the fight out from Karis and Monkey that rescues them and might just get them the grand prize of an ace home.
Giant fight from Karis. He was the one that was set up for success in this game, the only one that goes down, but the Emperor made sure that they felt the pain of Shurima before he did, as that was a beautiful sidestep on the Shurima shuffle that came out from Scout. And I was scared of that fight for WE.
Safely gets the curtain call down. Jin damage not to be messed with as well. Wherewithal on Team WE. Oh, Allah, my friend, that teleport was an errand play to try and save yourself, but he might actually... Oh, I thought he was going to escape Karis, but Vampire's there to sink his fangs into the croc. Good sidestep. They do commit the depth charge, but Allah will fall in the side lane once more in game 2.
Great read.
Oh my God,
Karis.
Where did Missing just go?
Yeah, Missing gets picked as JDG was trying to hit the Dragon, and frankly, with those 2 kills going on over, they get an inner, but I don't think they can take down the Dragon. Scout's got a base, and there's going to be 2 inner turrets now going over to WE, and maybe an inhibitor turret.
This is the first time we've seen them in 3 Baron plays. Knock down a tier 2 in mid lane. The first time we've seen in 3 Baron plays across this series that we've seen WE knock down the inhibitor.
He's going mid?
Yeah, I mean, Scouts, that was an interesting teleport. Scouts not respecting this potential
get
all
TP.
Call for the end. Scout's going to TP the bullet time, interrupted by a pillar. Monkey finally hits the pillar on the bullet time. The Nexus turrets are down. Shoots on the reset, though, going after Taeyun. And WE might have overextended themselves once again. Pays is stepping up and eviscerating all these health bars. It's got to be Karis and Taeyun. Pays trying to turn out the damage. It's the 2 big-time damage dealers for WE as Karis flies in after Pays. The Emperor's Divine, though, falls short. Pays survives. JDG survives with their Nexus exposed to keep the dreams of a sweep alive. Scary for WE to kind of walk into unless they do it as a unit.
Yeah, they've got Cube. He can face tank, and it's okay. That was a really nice backstep by Karis to step away from Scout, who saw his Emperor's Divine and is still looking. He is spotted, but
going on to missing. Scout. Oh, look at that. Emperor's Divine. It stops Karis in his track. Shun flies in as well, but he's getting blown away by the Sand Soldiers, and Karis pops his on. He's at just the perfect marker. Now the curtain call comes out. Pays and Alla trying to run away desperately. And they should be able to escape for now. The force shot doesn't slow up Alla, but that should seal Baron and maybe the fate of JDG as Monkey is on the hunt. Monkey is looking to end this game alongside Karis as he TPs in. They may not even want the Baron, Cubby.
Yeah, I think they can end again. I think it's going to be just so hard to get back to that Azir in this game. We saw Scout give a pretty admirable effort. It was him and Shun trying to get into the back line. And Karis, he didn't play it perfectly, but he did play it well enough to escape. TP back, and we'll see if this spells the doom of JDG in this game too, as it's 10 seconds on Shun and 20 on Scout.
This is not low enough for them to thread. Monkey gets to walk in with a red carpet, and he's going to try and go after Pays for now. Monkey kind of getting confused, discombobulated with targets to go for. Baron's also at 2K. This is just chaos. Nobody wants to start the fight. Nobody wants to take the Baron. What are we going to do? Finally, the bullet time comes up. Vampire's getting denied. Health bar goes down. The Baron's still only being done by Shun. Pays is going to turn his attention back over, and Pays secures the Baron. Now, GG, they just got to get out. Try to take as many Pearl Banners as they can with them. But Pays, he doesn't want to flash over the wall. Alla goes down next. Pays, you should have just flashed out in the first place. But Scout on the back end, he's trying to end the game. Pays is going to try and stop the backs. Can JD make off the heist and just win this thing right now? Pays is sacrificing himself with Shun. They're buying so much time for Scout, but he doesn't have the wave to do it. And it's going to cost Pays his life. It's going to cost all of GG his life. And now WE may finally get to win.
Karis is basing. Okay, Scout's going to go back. Alla's going to be up. It's going to be a 5v3 with Pays and Shun probably not going to be in for this fight. I think that's going to be it. That should be it.
Nexus turret's down. Scout can't hold the line. Taeyun hits like a truck. The last Nexus turret still being safe. They're pulling Monkey under it. Karis is here, though. Last Nexus turret down. Last hurrah for Alla and JDG, but they just can't get to Karis. They can't touch the damage dealers. And finally, can WE end this game? Scout's trying to throw them all into the Nexus turret. The turret is going down. The Nexus will finally fall. Oh my God.
That was like watching a Bears game, except Bears usually lose, Slayer. That was Jesus. Just in terms of this new Annie and some of her scenarios that we have, but again, a champion that has seen a lot of changes in the last couple patches and has started to really sneak her way into the meta.
So top side
he's going to look mid first.
Down, or he's going mid. With Scout having stun up. Karis is just so dead. So caught out. The flash kind of had to burn it, but it's painful. Got Shun with Lamb's Respite. If they can time this well enough, should be able to survive. The wave gets back towards the turret. Unstoppable form. Q this bot so much space here, and GG are really stunted. They're going to finally commit to the dive. They'll finally grab it. Lamb's Respite used defensively. Karis is here. They're going to chase down Monkey on the top side, though, as well. Pay's going to flash after, grab the Feats of Warfare. They do sacrifice Shun, though. But it's still a JDG win after they grab the 2-for-1.
Karis got a shut down. Meanwhile, W's bot lane, they're actually proxying, but Vampire just hit 6. Does Taeyun hit 6 off this creep? He might.
Oh my God, Vampire, you mad lad. Equalizer down. Vampire, the turret ramping up here. Don't know how many more turret shots he can take. Taeyun's waiting on cooldowns as well. The wave is thinning. They're going to have to go in now if they want it. And Taeyun perfectly times the flash.
Like, you don't really need Scorch in this matchup as the Orianna, because you end up winning this one pretty quickly. And to be fair, too, this series has gone super late and has been super haywire, so the value out of that's nice. We got the pause. Dragon.
Quickness.
Good stall.
Stalls. Dragon squared by Shun. He does have the Lamb's Respite to get on the wall if he wants. Cube trying to force the issue. Taeyun flies in with the Killer Instinct. There is the Lamb's Respite. Can anyone get knocked out of it, though? Shun's going to get himself out, but missing it. Pays are left in the pit and left to fall down to the chainsaw running, known as Taeyun. As Vampire says, serve up another one towards my AD carry. All damage. Karis. Shockwave down. Tibbers falls. One more Q, though. Scout should be able to pick up the kill. That shield's going to provide a lot of value. Misses the ball. Push and pull. This 1v1, but it's Karis to flash and secure another kill.
And even in those series, like they were, being competitive against teams like Top Esports, taking games off of AL. Now to
Scout.
Potential 6-game win streak.
Oh, Vampire. We're going crazy. There's the shockwave I was waiting for, and Unbreakable Will making a good dive until Tibbers comes out and says, you're not taking Scout down for free. Monkey traded for Scout's life.
And because of the flash from Scout, the initial ball carrier Oh, that ball snapped back to Karis. There was no shockwave. He put it on the second one as the Vampire connected with the kill. Monkey stuck around a little bit too long. Ate the Tibbers, ate the death as Shun does find his fourth mark. That is a nice spike on the Kindred. So definitely a little bit important to note. But still, WE, I mean, they're the team that's ahead, Slayer. And they're the team where, look at the tankiness. Like their comp is just so much easier to execute compared to JDG's.
Interesting big first item, too. I like this from Cube. The Kanik gets so much value into those solo lanes. He knows not only that it's such a good tank value item, but looking at the side lane assignments, what snowballed themselves into a big threat is Shun. Yep. Right? He's got fourth mark, 2-1. Very quickly on the way to try and get that Triforce done second. And that's why they picked this Kindred, right? You talked as much about missing on the Rakan is a big win con or a big win pick for him, but Shun on this Kindred is as well. As he gets the mid-tier 1 turret down, does have to burn his flash to get away from Vampire. Missing with the quickness. Gets a flash matched here by Monkey. So win for JDG. They open a lot more of the map up.
It is.
The other. Yeah,
it is, yeah.
Well, let's see that Kindred in action. Maybe the Lamb's Respite as well. They're going to dive the Cassante, but without plates in a healthy wave, it's actually not really a dive because the turret gets turned off.
Cube.
So Cube in the 1 versus 4 going to go all out, pull missing away from him,
He's
and
out.
dash himself to safety. Hey, just
Well
the turret
played.
having to fall, and that'll just easily get traded by Karis and Monkey.
That's really well played by Cube, as he was able to get his way on out of that one. Shun going to try and play that wave all the way in. Will crash it. Going to try and cut Cube off. Cube has not spotted this one, and of course he has that magic resist, not the armor.
Yeah, Kraken Slayer is burning through that health bar, missing in a flash, knock up, charm, and send Cube to the gray screen. Courtesy of Shun.
But of course Shun, he brought the fire, and
Cube. Oh, the flash too.
Before UW, with no flash and really no frontliners for missing, I think it is a lot harder for him to engage.
Whoa, Monkey! Dragon wasn't the prize. It was Ala. They're going to flash after him as well. Taeyun gets the kill done, but it's Monkey again. The agency this guy brings to WE, proving pivotal once more. But even in the 5v4, JDG, they want to fight themselves through this Dragon. It's slowly getting chunked lower and lower.
They've not found Scout. Yep,
Scout's going in. Tippers down onto 2. The quickness follows.
Nice.
Huge knockups onto the backline, but Shun can't get through because Cube and Vampire are holding them in place. Monkey gets the Dragon, and now it's time for the birds to sing the name of the World Elite. The Lamb's Respite only buys time for Shun, who cannot kite away from that Cassante. Pays falls. Next one up is Shun. The turret will barely save them for now until Karis flashes after, maybe a little bit too precariously. Taeyun can't get the kills done. Shun gets a heal back and a shutdown. Taeyun once again, right when WE think they have a winning play, they overextend and lose it all. Ola finds Vamp.
Overextend too much, and JDG is so squishy. And that Lamb's Respite, like, yes, it buys time, but this team is just so squishy compared to what WE has. They can't really stick around and find these fights, and speaking of sticking around, Monkey has stuck around. Let's see if he goes for the yoink or not.
Is he going to do it? Nope.
No, he's out of there. All right, good Otacon secure. Otacon secure, of course. Nice. I love this from Monkey and Team WE. Again, JD, like, with how squishy Ala is. Oh, wait, we got to go back to live. Ala's dead again on live. As Monkey just turned around and found him. Again, cease and desist against Rumble. Like, no one can help him.
Onto Missing. They have the ball on top of Monkey. Missing going to get the charms down. Pay's going to get hit by the Shockwave. Goes into the Feather Storm. Scout gets the big tippers down, but it's not going to be enough. The Equalizer doesn't get enough value, and the tank of Vampire holding the front line strong. Taeyun is full HP in the Drake Pit. Monkey, not the same sort of stature. Karis, no Shockwave available, as well as the Void Seeker nearly finds its mark onto Missing. Taeyun going to try and find his way in, but it's really hard to get close to Pazer Shun. So that Wombo combo, while it was a bit messy, bought enough space for JDG to even up the Drake.
Original film in an IMAX being successful. No one saw that one come. Okay, we actually have to pause.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Into nothing.
JDG trying to set up an angle onto the fight, threaten the Baron, but Monkey WE, they do not fall for it. They take the mid-tier 1, and they'll come back off and
this might be a Kaisa solo, and we'll see if JDG feels frisky enough to actually start the Baron.
All right. Game of chicken between these big neutrals. Shun's going to start it. Kindred, Xayah burn through this Baron if they get too much time, and you're seeing it right now. Taeyun's trying to come back up here. W are going to have to start this fight without their AD carry, but
spotted.
JDG are looking for the turn first. There's the big tippers, and they find the pick onto Karis. No shockwave available for WE, and now they're completely split off. Down goes Cube Scout, the guy, the veteran that was making so many mistakes earlier on in this series, might have just found the one ultimate on Annie that seals the Baron for JDG.
I mean, missing falls. Who cares if you're a JDG? As the Dragon Gambit, and JDG were on the Baron before they saw the Dragon fall, and it will pay off in a Baron for JDG. So the setup rings true, and Scout returning from base connects with a really big Tibbers. That pretty much just... Vampire lying in wait. I was going to be caught.
Okay. Great stasis. Shockwave gets nothing. How much does JDG want to get off the back of that? They might feel a lot more confident starting fights without that big wombo. Missing goes flying in there, trying to get a flash out. How much
can JDG get? I think the Shockwave is really important for WE. It can
so
really
vital.
hold. Yeah, it can hold a lot of space. It's a threat against Pays, who is really fed at this point. I don't think that WE wants to pull the trigger without Shockwave or JDG. So I think that's like where WE should look. But their pop needs to be big. When they use their ults, it needs to be big, because again, Taeyun as the Kaisa into the Kindred and the Xayah can't really function.
It's impossible to play. It's impossible
without that
to play.
ultimate. Yeah.
Partly why he maybe indexed into that AP build is we see the Void Staff and the Zhonya's alongside the
yet to be spotted. Scout does have flash up again.
Oh my god, but look at how quickly Kindred Xayah ripped that dragon. Monkey flying in as well after Shun, who's easily saving the equalizer from Ala, is going to cut off Cube and Vampire. Flying in is Taeyun next. Pays buying so much space. The Lamb's Respite. The knockup from Vampire. They can't kill Pays off. And boom goes the dynamite in the name of Shun. Gets the heal. Flying after Karis next. Shun will not relent. And sure, Taeyun finds himself safe on the back end of this fight, but he has no control left over the...
out of there either, as he lived with 1 HP. Oh, wait. Ult and 2. 1 for Taeyun. Yep.
Oh, he's going. He's going for it. Cleanses the stun. Can Taeyun do it? No! Shun survives again. It's just a 1-for-1.
Oh, Taeyun down for 62. He lived throughout it. That's the Dragon picked up. They get the Baron off the back half of that.
Just going to get chunked down. Their turrets cut down by a Kindred that is so infinitively scaled at 12 stacks. And
Shun.
It's just so hard to
Dear
even
Lord.
get near this Kindred at this point.
What range do you even have at 12 stacks, right? Because it's a 4-7-10 breakpoint on the Kindred, so yeah, Shun looks like he's got like 675 plus.
But once again, Monkey flies in as well, but JDG stave off the play very, very well. Get back together as 5.
Still lose the turret.
Yeah, they lose the turret. Vampire doesn't have his ultimate anymore, so WE are starting to run out of tools.
It's a one-way trip for Vampire.
There's no more hemorrhaging left. WE are getting cut down. The equalizer burning through so many members.
Wait,
Monkey's
Pays?
up in the air. Monkey's down. Pays gets a huge blade caller back. Shun pops the stasis to try and save himself, but WE are completely scattered. It's the double marksman that bring home the series for JDG.
I really cannot believe that JDG won this series 2-1. And I can't believe that Pays lived in those last 2 fights. The GA into the
Ambessa, if the Shy plays his cards right, and with the Varus, you're expecting these two to try to utilize that level 2 power spike coming on for this bot lane duo.
Aris is going to come in for Gala, and that Galio is trying to punish the double AP lanes. Like you called out, though, I like how early they're able to get to this dragon.
Yeah, it also just means, oh, wait a minute, here we go. He just hit level 6. We're going bot.
Yep, jumping on top of Gala. They're going to go right after him, section him off, and that is the proactivity we love now. Dragon's down about 2,000 HP as we do see Mako fly on in, but sacrifices his entire health bar. Feather gets a big knockup. In comes the Hero's Entrance, hits onto 2. The taunt is massive from Rookie. Exactly the setup that JJ needs to blow right through 2, and the public execution from the Shy right on point. Flashes after 1xn, and just like that, Thunder Talk collapse under the might of Invictus Gaming.
That's the Dragon. That's also so many summoner spells there from Thunder Talk. I need to watch that play again because we just saw them mis-execute.
Alongside their Rise and their Pantheon, that they can play towards side lanes and finding pick plays, because IG are just another breed right now in the straight-up team fights.
Uh-oh.
Shy maybe looking for an angle in here. Hits the poly execution right on top of Feather. Hero's Interest going to come across and hit the double knockup on Xiao Hung Ren. Rookie gets the taunt he needs on top of Hoya's head, and JJ, with the rest of the pack, gets to run wild on the back end of this fight. Hoya has survived a long time, but it's again JJ flying in to finish off another kill, a triple kill, over to the pack, over to JJ, looking to run down Xiao Hung Ren and Satam. JJ wants the big star, he wants the glory play, he's got the triple kill, and he's still hungry for more. Down goes a fourth, all 4 of those kills
now
to the
preparing to put themselves at soul point, 18 minutes into this game, and look at where Thunder Talk are. They are in another tri-state, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Xiao Hung Ren is just now getting back into his jungle. There's lanes to respond to top side. Good to see, though, that JJ's investment of the early game, taking that dragon early, now proves dividends. He's another guy who, on IG, we've seen so many shakeups in form. Really nice to see this 6-0 Nefiri game as he takes over and looks to maybe bail out Rookie, who does get jumped on the bot side. But with Feather there to try and get the charm, gets the knockup, and it's once again Feather finding ways to get kills locked down for Thunder Talk. But what is always the response on the flip side of the map? It is Hoya getting bodied by the Shy with some help from Mako and a mid-tier 1 turret going down. Just when you think you found a nice pick, Thunder Talk, you end up costing a fortune on the flip side.
Okay. All things considered, I think this is not all that bad. Yes, the game is in incredibly dire straits. Hoya using that ultimate action. Start this Otacon on spawn with the Herald slamming into that bottom tier 1. The teleport comes in from Hoya. There is no ultimate from Xiao Hung Ren. And everything is up and available for both of these teams.
Yep, there's Chains of Corruption. Feather, though, able to sneak out so nobody else gets binded. Otacon getting a lot of damage down. A lot has changed about Otacon, but the damage is still very real. As the Equalizer comes across, JJ's going to secure it as the Shy's flying in all by himself with Mako. Hero's Entrance going to land, and Satab is alone. He's cold and asking for help desperately on the top side of this fight. But Thunder Talk are finding ways to get the first pick down onto Rookie. But look at 1xN and Hoya's health bars. They can't step up towards Gala, who does have to burn his cleanse.
The Shy?
And the Shy finally finds a window, breaks open the door, and kicks down Thunder Talk. A triple kill with the snap of a finger. Satam desperately trying to kite back with this rise, get the Root Prisms down, but no, it's not enough. Guess what it is? A Shy pentakill!
There we go. I told you, IG just straight up bring entertainment and
See how far he pushes his luck, being very, very ahead with all the gold he's got. But like you called out, by this point, it might just be at the point where IG can slap TT with their wallets and fight on any footing. And there's the Shy going in 1 versus 4, sets up a huge knockup, but does fall. Shutdown goes over to 1xN, so the Shy over-aggresses, but it's okay. JJ and the pack are here to try and clean things up with Rookie on the front side, swallowing up all of this damage, gets the taunt down onto 1xN, who falls, and now it's time for JJ to run free with the rest of Invictus Gaming. First pentakill to the Shy. This time it's an ace done by the rest of IG.
I was watching 1xN that entire fight. This guy is autoing out of his mind, and he is doing peanut damage right now. He is throwing popcorn kernels at Invictus Gaming for literally 0. Invictus, they win another team fight. It is just a snowball after snowball onto Thunder Talk Gaming. It'll be another turret falling. It'll be
It's impossible to ever contest IG at this point, and like you called out, the Mountain Soul makes it hard for them to try and lean into their pick potential on anyone that over-aggresses on side lanes. We see in the Pip that another kill was found onto Feather, who was just desperately trying to set a vision for this Baron. It's time for IG to just kind of go through the motions, Ulk. Baron, push to try and win, and game-sealing fight.
Yeah. Biggest thing that if you are a Thunder Talk fan, if there's any chance for them to be able to come back, Satab has finished his Rod of Ages. He has his Seraphs, but he's getting caught out in a side lane.
Oh, the taunt ruins the Realm War. Perfectly timed from Rookie, who gets revenge for the 1v1 loss with that one.
All right, well, that was kind of that was my last bit of my copium for Thunder Talk.
What timing?
Yeah, yeah, imperfect. You know, that's just a legendary caster curse coming on through. So, Satab loses his flash, his life, and now the Baron with the Mountain Soul. IG, this was an expected pick-me-up. This needed to be the kind of gust in their wins to bring them to a couple victories here.
Oh, sweet 1xN.
Jesus.
He pissed off the pound, and they unleash the dogs. JJ pops him with ease. This is just how far ahead IG are. These health bars crumble with a whisper of the name of IG. And now it's time to just start knocking down structures and go for a very quick win on 15.9 standards.
Oh, yeah.
Just 26 minutes into this game. They've got the Baron waves. They've got no one to really contest them. It's just Seitab and Xiaoheng Ren looking to hold the line that will crumble at the very might of IG once more. Perfect stunts come across from Mako and Rookie. Xiaoheng Ren and Feather just have to watch their base burn once more as IG, with a commanding sweep, take game 1 in under 27 minutes.
Oh my. Okay, at least IG can do that. I was corner and suddenly show up. He's like, okay, look, Rookie, you gave me all your Galio ults last game. I'm coming on through to save you.
It's the Shy. If you think he's gonna pick save Rookie,
JJ has not been the most creative. Oh, we're just doing this?
We're jumping in. 4-shot lined up. 1xn's gonna cleanse the ignite. Mako getting the autos down. Gala in flash range. If he wants to off this 4-shot, get the Q and the first blood, and he will. The root onto Feather under the turret. Mako's health bar is too dandy. Tail Dredgeline gonna land from Feather. As the fight starts to open up, here's the Unstoppable Onslaught. Does hit onto Mako. Lilting Lullaby only gonna sleep JJ, who immediately gets woken up. The bullet time. Mako flashes away from it. 1xn gets zero value out of it, but the Tween Worlds from Seitab finds the opening kill. The Shy and Rookie on the back end of this fight are very sectioned off and in danger. Feather's Dredgeline forces them to flash over as we go back towards the top side of this fight. JJ gets knocked out of his Ixtal impact by the slam down from Hoya. He gets one grub. The Shy's flying in 1 versus 3 in classic the Shy fashion. Finds the kill into Xiaoheng Ren, but him and JJ both fall. Feat of Warfare secure.
I feel really sad all the time because they just keep losing. All right, well, Stab's dead.
There we go. Nice flash taunt between worlds. Going to create some space. Perfectly thrown rock, though, from JJ. Breaks the back of Seitab. Red buff. Gets it done.
All right, Rookie doesn't have flash anymore, but should be able to just shift on over. There is no one on this side of the map, so Rookie does have to play a little bit careful. Does still have his ultimate, but this is Dragon. First Dragon of the game actually going down at about 12 minutes here for IG. And see if they make this dive happen, though. Show what? Okay, actually, that was fine. That was actually fine. I'm okay with that.
Dancing shoes on. See ya. Dredgeline. Nighty-night, Rookie. Bop.
All right, Shen's going to be here to still catch.
Double the time it took him to take game 1 Dragon. I'm trying to distract you from the fact that Seitab's going to die the same exact gank he died 2 minutes ago from.
This time, not in mid lane yet, but still Leandries and trying to get some damage down into mid. We're also seeing that ThunderTalk playing a little far up and trying to take control of the river choke as well into blue side entrance. So good posturing from ThunderTalk so far.
Yeah, one of the checkpoints you were talking about for the ThunderTalk back stocks, one of the many, is getting those setups on neutrals that they want and then capitalizing on them. And now we'll see if they can try and punish any fight that breaks out. But once again, IG are a little bit late. And Feather flashing after Rookie finds such a great avenue to force the flash on Rookie himself. Don't think the curtain call is going to have enough bullets to punish Feather any further. So that's a support flash trade that you love to see for ThunderTalk. There's a Scion in your brush. Ooh, flashes to cancel the dash.
Oh, no!
Defy does not push away the Scion. The knockup lands, and the gold's going right where you want it. Xiaoheng Ren grabs it.
To winning a game. It's been a while since we've been able to see ThunderTalk actually pick up a game in a series, much less a entire series win between the two. And we've got the Otacon already half HP, and IG are nowhere in the area.
Trying to like make a play onto Hoya in the mid lane. That's the Scion. He's just going to laugh you off. The Shy. Okay, not going to get too big for our britches there. So, big XP buff. You get those Blossom explosions on the kills now. And IG have zero answer. Oh my god, Xiaoheng Ren right there, flashing in. Two-man Lilting Lullaby. Puts to sleep JJ Mako, who do get to safety. Dredgeline's going to land, though, onto the Skarner, who will look for an Impale to hold up the tanks. Shy flies in with a Stand United ultimate, and now Xiaoheng Ren very, very low. The kill should be picked up by the Shy, but Seitab able to trade away Gala on the back end. The Shy, though, getting a ton of value out of the Shen, gets a two-man taunt, and where the hell has Hoya ended up? Under the mid-tier 1 turret. Gives the kill back to Rookie. The zombified corpse of Hoya will not fight any of these low health bar kills. And somehow, some way, IG come away battered and bruised, but on top.
But maybe.
We talked about has led the charge best for ThunderTalk in their wins. Is starting to really heat up on this Aurora as we're gauging up for a dragon fight with a curtain call coming down here from Gala. Hoya will happily gobble up all of these fourth shots like a hungry hippo. There's a little lullaby on Gala as well. And he just wakes up from his slumber. JJ going in,
like
grunted by Feather, gets the impale on the Xiaoheng Red, but the bullet time really finds its mark from 1xN. Both tanks go down, the Shy flies in, but he's gapped away by Xiaoheng Red and 1xN. The Feathers flying high for ThunderTalk as Gala and Rookie try and back their way back towards their turret, the only ones to survive the onslaught.
Just look at how little damage IG, we thought that maybe with this Rel, with having Skarner and Shen, that the backline carries of Invictus Gaming would have enough to be able to actually work with enough damage to get in between and really lay down the groundworks for an IG win here in game number 2. But ThunderTalk, Satab is putting in work on it as backline. 1xN as well with this misfortune is doing a lot of work, and I think the front line of ThunderTalk is going with a lot of undue praise coming on through, or not necessarily recognized for their kind of ministrations in this one.
Oh, here we go.
What are we doing? This seems so overforced.
It's just work husband things. All right? That's the Shy repaying
told
Rookie.
you.
Right there. Yeah.
All right. I mean, also, I'm looking at Gala's build here. Yes, Hoya is not building very much armor, but we are never doing damage to this Scion. Just ever. Nor this Nautilus, to be fair.
Nope.
So it's all about that one shot. It's all about can IG actually find the pick onto one member, and we're seeing that ThunderTalk are just constantly outperforming them time and time again here in the second game. So being able to grab themselves the dragon, I think you're not too mad about that as IG or as ThunderTalk. Get themselves a turret. Invictus Gaming, they're going to make their way into the pit.
Okay, and they're really trying to force their way in. The impale only lands on the Feather. There's the lilting lullaby. Down with the bullet time. JJ and Rookie are in a barn burner of hell. That Satab flashes to secure the first kill with the Shy. Is all the way off in Narnia by himself, and the rest of TT, they go right through the motions of their comp. 5-3 more kills. Baron is their prize, and game 2 really feels like the main get right now for ThunderTalk.
There we go, ThunderTalk. They are 6-20 so far, 6-21 following after last game. But finally having a series and maybe a game here where they feel in control. Game 1, some of their...
Excuse you, you mentioned their game score, 6-21. That means they haven't had a lot of practice, especially this roster, on running some of these, Baron pushes, trying to get as much value out of the purple banner. So, good test here as well. With them in the lead, how do they look to push it further? What turrets can they grab? What gold can they get? How much value do these next 2 minutes grab for ThunderTalk?
Right. Well, 3 items completed here for Gala if he wants it, right? He already has the Infinity Edge.
Light had to have been spotted there as the Dreadside's going to land on a JJ. Depth charge committed as well. No flash on this Skarner. And look at his health bar just disintegrate to the might of Satab. Hoya throws himself into the wings. Rookie and Gala trying to kite back towards this river. But JJ is far too hurt for IG to try and press this issue, try and get the most damage out of their scaling threats in this Azir and Jhin. So TT just going to walk him down, walk him out of this jungle, as JJ has to take a reset and desperately try and run back down towards the pit. Mako gets hit with another dredge line. There is still no lilting lullaby. It comes up in 5 seconds for Xiaoheng Ren, and they're going to start on that soul secure Drake.
No Shen ultimate, and Jeje is on his way. He is currently at the low pit through 2-man sleep.
Yep, Gala and the Shy get put 9-9. Mako with a huge crash down. Magnet Storm comes with the back flip.
Aurora?
But it's not enough. Aurora eviscerates Gala. Rookie flies in, but it's just too late. Here's the fight ThunderTalk need. 21 losses. Be damned. They're going to clean Ace IG and send this series the distance.
Well, look, we're getting a repeat of what happened. Guess what? Week 2, ThunderTalk took IG to 3 games. Beichuan no longer part of the roster, but ThunderTalk looking to repeat history here. There we go. It is 12,000 gold, and Ocean Soul and ThunderTalk are able to finally pull the game over.
I can confidently say this was a crowd silencer with all the IG fans completely stunned. maybe one of the most complete wins here for Thunder Talk all season long. Hopefully will lift up their moods just a bit. Goes wrong. There's so many clear ways this goes wrong. Who would I love to be in the mind? Oh, who would I love to be in the comms on that pick? This is Gyro's ringing once more, and we're not gonna have a lot of time to build up this matchup because looks like we're already gonna get crazy with a level 1. Rookie face checks into 3 members of TT, make it 4, and who grabs first blood?
Okay. So good job coming in, and we're not seeing those really early aggressive plays coming in from Gala Mako. They are just barely even in CS. You're playing against a composition where you
throws one into wall. Xiao Hung Ren tries to follow to get the Shy hit with the ultimate. The stun comes across. True Shot Barrage, though. Gwen is immune to that damage, and Feather gets a Pop Blossom that falls completely flat.
Dilly gets like his Essence Reaver and the such. I mean, there's no such like you know that there's no
Glacial Prison
ultimate here. Yeah, who
JJ,
cares?
bro.
Just walk up.
JJ doesn't take much harassment for that. Remember, the Dragon was taken so early here by TT. They've got some waning health bars, but Saytab's trying to cook going in on Mako. The bubble after death, though, from Mako holds Saytab in place. Gala gets the kill, and Rookie's going to cut off the exits, going for Xiao Hung Ren, who is way too low to try and be contesting near this Talia. Going to use Dragon as a body blocker. JJ does not have the Keeper's Verdict to throw anybody out. He's going to try and run in and just steals the Dragon with ease. Xiao Hung Ren had no way to contest, and the Shy with Rookie gets the feats of warfare, and the needlework is flowing like an audacious river as the Shy tries to chase down more. You were looking for it. Gala now, maybe a bit more unleashed with that Essence Reaver available to him as TT looking for a play onto the Shy. When his immune gets around the Glacial Prison, even though the Gnar ultimate lands, steps around the CC from Nico as well. The Shy now going to pop the needlework, try and go back into the Pop Blossom, and just where we thought the Shy was looking for an outplay, he throws himself into 3, and the kill is found, but IG are going to look to capitalize on the back end of it. They're going to pick off the straggler, which is Hoya, who will happily sacrifice himself as the weakest member of TT.
I just wish he didn't go forward. He had literally the perfect scenario. He could just use his needlework, set up to take the wave. He takes a lot of the attention away from the rest of the map with Thunder Talk investing so many, and Rookie,
the same sin of his top laner, committed too far up in the wave, not knowing where TTR.
Oh no!
Under the turret. It's all turning disastrous for IG. The Shy gonna have to run out from under the turret. As a big chunk comes across from Gala. But these mistakes are starting to compound for IG. They gotta slow their horses.
They are just kind of continuing their role. They have 3 grubs, so they'll at least take this top lane tier 1. And this is a lot of gold now focused across the board. Hoya and 1xN focusing the mid-tier 1. They wanted to race for that to try to at least take one of the feats of strength.
Big ultimates committed just to try and kill off Rookie. He survives, and now it's allowing IG to take control of the river here. TT really have no avenue to fight. They're going to try and pick off the Shy on the top side, but they sacrifice their jungler. The Shy buys a lot of time, but makes it a trade. Big win here for IG, though, as the Dragon is theirs, and there's nothing TT can do about it.
I think that overforce onto Rookie may have just cost Thunder Talk the game. They get the second Dragon going over to IG. You still have the Herald with 3 grubs, and that was kind of your window to look for something. They don't find that pick. They don't even get... And you just gave over an Infernal Drake to IG, potentially giving them more.
Yeah, Xiao Hung Ren takes half his HP, and just like that, the Otacon play is shut down.
Okay, Hoya has ultimate. He's in Mega Gnar. This Rift Herald is just walking by. Saytab, can he get into the back line?
Saytab looking for a jump in angle, and he catches Rookie on the middle of his wall. He immediately has to hop off it. Xiao Hung Ren is sectioned off. There goes in Hoya. Gets the one-man stun. It's only on to JJ, though. And IG grab the Otacon, and they're playing through the Coling. Saytab gets caught by JJ once again. Throwing him into the wall. Pop Blossom onto 2 from Feather. True Shot Barrage comes across Xiao Hung Ren. He wants Gala, but he's not gonna get him. IG blow up the fight. TT's damage falls just a bit too flat. They can't commit to any of these kills.
And that's going to be another turret falling. The fact that JJ was able to grab that Otacon, such close margins, but Thunder Talk, they fall at the very last moment. Even parts of that fight looking good. Feather finding so many people there. Saytab teleported back in.
He's spotted.
This could be a ton of shutdowns going over.
He's immediately spotted. He walks through a control ward. Dashes in place, so he's a distort to go back. blows JJ up, 1 down. The Shy looking for the slow from the Nami passive. Seitab waiting on cooldowns, but he's walking right into Rookie's waiting arms. And no trickery from the LeBlanc can get Seitab out of that spot. Only losing grasp on other parts around this dragon. Midwave is down. JJ already has won a 50-50 once against Xiaoheng Ren. The Shy jumping in first, though. He didn't see Seitab. There's the Glacial Prison stuck in a lane. 1xN gets the dragon. Down goes the Gwen. So for the time being, TT find themselves in a 5v4. But they don't have mid lane priority, and IG are not going to
this league, where Rookie already has one. Rookie's laning phase has not been that great, and now on this signature, LeBlanc hopefully can try to bring home a win.
And here's Seitab and Hoya, the solo lanes that we've looked for so much of through Thunder Talk's success, finding the kill onto the Shy, the culling flashed away from by Hoya, but here comes Rookie with the Weaver's Wall, gets the seismic jump, Hoya is caught, so both top laners will valiantly trade their lives.
And that's a lot of time and investment there from IG. That's
not
Rookie,
again.
Rookie.
Seitab gets the double chain. Sees, though, the 3 members IG nearby, and they're now going to commit the chase onto LeBlanc, who doesn't have the dash up to get over the wall. And just like that, Seitab's pick plays turn right back into his face.
I can't believe he's up, and Thunder Talk need to make the steal, the team fight of a lifetime.
There's Glacial Prison down for nothing. Xiaoheng Ren, can you get this 50-50 keeper's verdict? Is not going to hit him away from the pin. In he goes. He steals it! Xiaoheng Ren stalls more time for TT, giving 4 members a purple banner.
And they need to fight in 15 seconds. There is no time to stall, to catch your breath. There's an Infernal Soul spawning. IG say, look, we may have lost that one, but guess what? We know that we'll be in position for this next objective. Seitab has respawned. The rest of Thunder Talk are coming. There is a wall coming out. Can they make it, though? Already half HP.
Can Xiaoheng Ren do it again? He can't get to the pin. That's a clutch bubble for Mako. Infernal Soul unleashes hell onto Thunder Talk. There's the Pop Blossom onto the Shy. Does get stunned up. Trades his life as the jungler for TT falls. But Gala flashes forward and just eviscerates 1xN's health bar. There is the Lucian shining true. A triple kill for Gala. And Seitab and Feather have no way to rescue it.
Okay, but this Baron is going to stall for time here. They might lose their mid-tier 2. There's a very few minions here. I mean, even with the next mini wave that's coming on through, that'll still be Baroned up here by Feather.
But JJ!
Unless he dies.
He throws Feather into his own turn. It says, sayonara. It's now only Seitab left with Baron to try to hold the line. Xiaoheng Ren up in 15 seconds. But I think IG want this game in series overall. They're going to go for it all.
Infernal Soul, they've even got the grubs. Gala dashes forward.
Oh, there goes down
it.
Seitab. It was a grind for IG to get here, but while the series was murky, a win's a win. TT fall in 3 to IG.